feel like I got to make a track right now. I wish I did know how to freestyle.
That would be epic.
It would.
Like we got 4 black men, none of you guys can fucking freestyle. Jeez,
You guys are pathetic.
Jeez, where the fuck do you grow up? What white suburb do you grow up in?
I know one of us should be able to rap, right?
Right.
Jeez.
Fucking thing.
All right,
Nice.
we got James, Jamal, and Antron from Craft Crew.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for coming on through, guys.
Appreciate you for having us.
Thanks for the invite, man. This was long overdue.
I know you can bring that
Been a
mic
long
closer.
time. Oh, okay.
Just don't spill any beer on it. Yeah, well overdue. I feel like we've been talking about something for ages. And I think, one of the things, obviously, us not having our own spot was one of the factors. But now that we do, like, why the heck not? Let's make it happen.
Yeah, big time. Yeah.
And now you guys came in for something. You're like, are we going to fucking do this? I was like, yeah, we're going to do it. I was like, we just set the date right then and there. And then we just made it happen. So thank you for coming on through today. We're making a collaboration beer. Black and Brew is the name of it. It's a lager with butterfly pea flowers. We'll see how it turns out, what the color it's going to be, but it'll be exciting.
But nobody heard of that before.
Yeah.
Yep,
By the way, when you guys talk, hold those mics closer to you. Yeah. They're not going to hear you down at your stomach. So, tell me how Craft Crew got started.
Okay, I could take over this question here.
Yeah.
This is easy. What was it? Circa, I want to say like 2016, like Christmas 2016. My wife, previous to that, we were only drinking like Blue Moons, and I thought Blue Moon was everything when I first tried it.
Yeah.
Yep, same.
In like 2008, because previous to that we were like mainly like hard liquor drinkers, so we just, if it was gonna be beer, we just wanted something as a chaser. So we would do the typical like Corona, Heineken, stuff like that. Once I tried Blue Moon for the first time in like 2008, I was like, oh, this is the bee's knees. So I told Jamel about it. So literally whenever we would go out to like sports bars and shit like that, I could curse, right?
Yes, and I also apologize. I said Jamal, not Jamel. Should have called me out on that one. But go on. Yeah, you can curse. I don't care.
We would go to like sports bars and stuff, or would always end up ordering like a pitcher of Blue Moon. And then so Christmas like 2016, my wife bought me a set of custom beer glasses. So that was the first time that I ever knew that they recommend that you drink certain styles out of specific glasses, just so you could get more of the aroma and the more of the actual character of that specific style of the beer. So that took me down a rabbit hole, and I started going all over the place. And one of the first places that I actually visited was they weren't there long. It was a craft beer cellar. They had a small location in West Hartford. So that was the first time that I even found out you could do like your own mixed craft beer 6-packs and stuff like that. So I was like, holy shit, hell yeah. So I started telling Jamel about it. We started, just kind of experimenting, trying a bunch of different styles and stuff like that for the year. And then maybe like the top of like 2018, my cousin, shout out CEO Zoe Alonzo, Any Video. He came up with the idea. He wanted to launch a Black Wall Street network on Facebook with a bunch of different shows all produced and by Black people and Black actors and everything like that. So he texted me. He said, if you have an idea for a show, like shoot it to me. I'll give you production credits and stuff like that. So I was like, okay. And we visited like Hanging Hills early days, like on Ledyard over there in Hartford. And when we met Joe Plouffe, we pitched him the idea of the show because we were saying like, we don't see a lot of like Black people or, Puerto Rican, Spanish, whatever, in the breweries and stuff. So when we told him about it, he was saying, that's one of the main reasons why, I picked this spot from our brewery, because I want to bring in more of a demographic into the brewery here. So we started doing the show. We would, we figured if we have people that look like us, see us, trying these different styles of beers out, giving them like our interpretation of it, like our thoughts on it and stuff like that. It was a better product than what they were typically drinking on the regular. So it started from there, and it took off. Like we just, we started meeting more people that same year. Joe helped introduce us to a bunch of people. Jamal Robinson being one of them. Shout out Jamal. So we knew Jamal since he was working at Stony Creek, and then he made that transition over to Nebco. But yeah, that's how we started off. Nothing more than that.
So so it was you and Jamel. How'd you get the other two clowns?
Real quick,
still in the days of Twitter.
Dale's not a clown. Dale is actually one of the hardest working guys out of all you. He's always
He's
busy.
a busy man, man.
Yeah. He is always busy.
Big. So Dale's one of my closest friends from like middle school. And he went to college for graphic design, and he actually ended up picking up a camera. He called me one day. It was like he's about to buy a camera. He wants to take his own photos to practice editing and things of that nature. So I was like one of his first photography clients ever. And, he always did his thing. So, and he enjoyed craft beer as well. So he did a lot of work for us. We just basically told him, man, you're part of the team if you want to be part of a team. He just does things from behind the cameras a lot, behind the scenes. A lot of our video, our editing, our photos and things of that nature. He's comfortable doing that. So, that's how Dale came about. Yeah. Even before Antron joined us, Dale was doing a lot of our graphic work for us prior to joining the crew.
He actually like the first photo shoot that we did when Small State Great Beer was still going on. That was like our first like introduction to like a beer fest, and we had mics there and everything, so we were walking around interviewing people about their thoughts of like the different beers and stuff like that. But he actually shot like a promo shoot for us because we were wearing the t-shirt that they designed for that year. And we shot it right in Constitution Plaza, downtown Hartford. So Dale's he's been around for basically since the beginning, because like Jamel said, it was before Antron was even involved. But he would just come and kind of fill in, like, like whenever he could. And we didn't have my cousin Alonzo around, so he would do his thing for us, and like we were always appreciative. But I mean, of course, it got to the point where it was just like he started doing so much for us. It's like, you know what, you're part of the crew.
Official, officially official.
And it wasn't like we were asking him. He was just like, guys, can I come and do this for you guys? It wasn't like,
it's a passion thing. It's something you want to be part of.
Absolutely.
You guys are very like. You have the energy. It's like, I want to be part of it, Yeah, I get it. It's fun. You have good energy. Yeah. So how did you come along?
The Antron.
So now here I am. At first I was living in Meriden. A roommate of mine brought a growler of, I think it's called Opa Opa IPA from Opa Opa Brewing. So I'm looking at this thing like, what is this? Like, he's like, we got to drink this thing within a few days. So I'm like, what kind of beer do you got to drink? Like, is it going to be a problem for us to drink it? He's like, this is craft beer. So I'm like, oh, okay, craft beer. Or me living in the West Hartford now. I'm going to breweries by myself. Just looking for people, like me, hip hop, looking for, some other culture. Look on Twitter. I see these guys doing hip hop videos at Hanging Hills. And I'm like, whoa, this is amazing. I'm like, I got to hit these guys up. So I think I hit up on Twitter. I hit up James.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, let's meet up. Let's have a beer. And
you had never met before?
Never met before.
No.
Just it was
via social media.
Yeah, definitely. So I was just like, let's meet up and have a beer. And James pulls up in his work van. Where'd we go? We went to
Willimantic. It was Willimantic Brewing Company. Yeah.
And we just hit it off. Like, and I'm like, guys, you're doing all this. I don't see nobody else doing videos and stuff like this and reviews. This was years ago. And I'm like, you only have 600 followers. I'm like, I got more followers on my from high school on my page. And I'm like, let me run your page.
So it seems like the mission that you guys wanted to start instantaneously took off by just getting your, your fourth member right there.
Yeah.
Like the idea of you guys trying to do it, you knew right away there was the reassurance, like, all right, there's other people like me that want to
and
be
it's
part
funny
of this.
because Alonzo, James' cousin, used to always make this joke. He's like, yo, you guys call yourself a crew and there's only two of you.
Yeah.
So we never really went out on a mission looking for people to join us. It just kind of happened. And when Antron joined us, like he said, he met James first. And then I ended up meeting him first time, I think it was 5 churches out in New Britain, if I'm not mistaken.
Which we haven't been back since.
But we'll leave that story for another day.
Yeah.
But and
was that where your initiation was? They made you like chug 5 beers or something like
I
that?
had to get approval from Jamel because I already got approval from James. So
and Antron's been a real one.
Where's the mark? Let me see where they hurt you.
He's been a real one ever since. You know what I mean? Since day one. And we built a brotherhood. Me and James known each other for years. I've known Dale for years. And we all met each other, but we formed a brotherhood where it's just what we do, and nothing's forced, nothing's fake. It's all authentic, and
I think that's what makes you guys awesome. Like you guys, like I said, the energy you guys put off, the craft beer industry needs more gentlemen like you guys. How do you market it to, let's say, the African American community to get more individuals like yourselves? I feel like beer has been never been acknowledged by the industry.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like one of the initiatives we began to push, and we've kind of scaled off of it a little just because of scheduling, but we call it a beer mixer. One day I was scrolling on Instagram and I seen out in, I want to say it was either DC or Baltimore, Maryland, that they do these beer mixers, and basically it's just like a pop-up shop, but they kind of in tune beer to it. So I basically pushed the idea to the guys, like, we should do this, you know, out here in Connecticut. We're really big on like community-based things, pushing the forth small businesses and things of that nature. So we linked with our guy M. Dot out in New Britain, Unknown Clothing. He actually hosted our first beer mixer. Yeah. We had breweries in Connecticut that we built relationships with throughout the years, like Donate Beer, or we bought cases for a discounted price or what have you, and we would just pour beers for people who walked into the store, and everybody that we promoted it to, who just might have questions about craft beer, who may not know or understand what craft beer is, the different styles. The IPA is obviously the most famous style of beer, so everybody heard of it. Like, people be like, "Oh, this is like IPAs and shit." That's like the most common thing you hear. So that's kind of what was our agenda to push forth through the African American community, is through these beer mixers where we keep it authentic, we keep it who we are. Hip hop's being played, we dress the way we dress, we talk the way we talk, we don't fabricate or water down nothing, but we want to sit here and enjoy and introduce you to some really high quality beer. A lot of people, they'll clown like a certain style of cognac and then talk up Hennessy or whatnot, because it's a higher quality of cognac. So we'll try to use that as our motive to push forth the craft beer.
We actually, I think that first beer mixer too, I think you were still at the barracks when we did that one, because we got a big donation from over there. We went and picked it up from was it Sean from Hoax? I believe it was like some of your beers, some of Hoax beers.
I think it was just a mixture of everything from the beer. By the way, I have to find that photo, but we have a photo of you guys the first time you guys ever came in
to the barracks.
And we have a photo of us all jumping.
We have that on
I think it's on our Instagram page.
You have it? All right, I gotta find that. I'll add that to the video.
I remember driving out there like the night before the mixer to go pick up the beers from over there. So we got a lot of that. We bought a few of it, but most of it was donated, man, which was a beautiful thing.
Once again,
because
small businesses,
that's definitely like you guys were already established and stuff, so you guys didn't have to help us out at all. You could have easily been like a-holes, like,
Listen,
we're kind of pass on that shit. But
we donate where we can. And like I said, if you guys have something going on, we're more than happy to
appreciate
together,
it. Appreciate it. But yeah, we brought as many different styles. We didn't want to just do IPAs because a lot of people complain about that style of beer when they're initially trying craft beer for the first time because of like the bitterness and like the hop flavor. It's not a good intro. Yeah, he's right. It's not a good introduction to craft beer.
I get it.
So I mean, shit, we did a few IPAs, but of course, like lagers that are more easy to drink. But I also went out to like Total Wine and bought a bunch of the Lindemans, the lambic beers, because those are like a lot sweeter and stuff like that. So that was a huge hit.
Yeah,
the Lindemans. So
surprisingly though, remember the females were digging the stouts.
They were
doing the barrel aged stouts like it was nothing, and the guys were like, "You got any sours?" Which was like surprising us. I'm like, "What's going on here?"
No, so that was great. It was the first one was such a great turnout, but it was literally like 2 months before COVID hit.
Yeah,
and then once COVID hit, it was just like
we had plans like crazy going along with this, and then we just got squashed.
Yeah. Why do you think there's not enough Black people in the craft beer community? Why don't we see more African Americans in the community?
I'll start. I feel like initially, a few years ago when we kind of started this venture, I feel like a lot of people just didn't feel comfortable going into breweries because there wasn't enough Black people in them. I tell people all the time when
surround yourself by like is maybe
when we first started, it wasn't it was uncomfortable walking in because you kind of feel like you're being watched or you're being looked at or whatnot, but that's not really the case. It's just a mental thing, So we wanted people to understand, that walking in these places to enjoy some good beer was, the motive behind everything. And if you want to do it, go ahead and do it, and don't let, judgment be the reason why you don't do what you do, And also I just feel like in our community and our culture, just hard alcohol is just what people prefer over anything. They'll get beer just to chase it, and if you're getting beer to chase, you're gonna buy something very affordable after you're spending a heavy amount on some type of hard liquor.
Do you think anything with marketing into like culture would have anything to do with that?
You're going to a place where you want to have a drink and relax. Some people, not everybody wants to relax to like a rock and roll song going on, or other music. Sometimes I want to go in there, I want to hear some hip hop. That's what I like to relax to, or just beats and you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
instrumentals or whatever. You just don't. It's all how you want to relax. It was there.
I think also it's a mixture of like it gets political, but I mean it gets political in like any type of career you go in.
Let's get Dale seated.
Yeah,
and then I want to take off from there because I do want to hear it.
Yeah.
This is important.
Sit down.
Come on, Dale.
The hardest
Dale
working
is in the building.
craft brewer.
Yeah, definitely.
Man.
I think like political nonsense is involved in it as well. I think we harped on this for the One Pint documentary like a couple years ago that they were shooting. One day, Antron and I went over to Two Roads because the Black is Beautiful initiative that Weather Soul started in Texas. Nothing like, I'm not saying we were just there and at Two Roads, and they happened to be taping Elisa from Rhythm Brewing because they collabed on the beer.
Shout out to Elisa.
Yeah, Elisa's amazing.
Big shout out.
We just nothing. I'm not saying nothing against Two Roads. Two Roads is amazing.
No, you're good.
We love you guys. No, but we just happened to be there. They were shooting, and then they asked us that same question. So us being like involved, like talking back and forth for like beer culture. Shout out beer culture. You realize like the political agenda that gets involved with, like Black breweries wanting to open up their own breweries and them being slighted and stuff like that. It's like a snowball effect type of thing. So I'm sure that there's plenty of black and brown brewers out there that would love to get their businesses like upstarted and everything, but then you just have those political hurdles that get in the way. They might not want to give you a loan for your business and stuff like that. So I'm sure that, because I think it's like less than like 1% across the nation is like black owned breweries and
black owned breweries. Yes.
And it became man, it really like shed a light on it now more so, because what we're doing with the collaboration with changing the Airfest and Cedar Park and the events that we'll be doing there throughout the summer. Jamal really wanted, like Cedar's used to like really focus around like black owned businesses and stuff like that. So with the events that we're trying to do with the sampler pack thing, it's kind of difficult to accomplish because we want at least like 2 black owned breweries, 2 black owned wineries, 2 black owned like spirits, bourbon, whiskey, whatever. We know 2 off the back for spirits. I don't know any black owned in Connecticut as far as wine goes. And then for beer, we got Rhythm, we have Best Friends Lunch, but then that's it. And then, I mean, we have to outsource from that point on because we have White Lion in Massachusetts, but they have their license here, they pour here, so they have distribution. But we have Brockton that we reached out to in Mass, but they're not licensed here, so we can't like legally pour their beer at any of these events.
So for context, just so people are a little on track here. So you guys are trying to put together mixed 4-packs of
no, just not even mixed 4-packs. Just to sample their beer.
Oh, just to sample the beer. Okay, I thought you were trying to do something like special.
No.
Sample pack.
Sample pack that we're trying
So this is something at Cedar Park that people can get.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me correct this. So at Cedar Park, you want guests when they come in to be able to get like a 4-pack of like 4, black-owned brands that you get to try as like maybe like a flight, let's call it.
Or what, like vice versa. So we'll like let them sample it, and then if they want to purchase, then they have the ability to purchase. Yeah,
that's fun.
That way,
introduce
people
to them.
So it's also it also coincides with what we were talking about, what Jamel was speaking of earlier, of how we started off with the beer mixers.
Yep.
So it's almost like a beer mixer type of
Beer
thing
mixer.
too. So we're like, here, try this, and then it's black owned. If you want to purchase, it's available for you to purchase. But
even to piggyback off of James, like that's something, a hurdle that the CETA team deals with legislation here in Connecticut as far as distributing beer. So their agenda, like we said, is to move like black-owned breweries, Latino-owned breweries, people of color, and we just don't have enough around here. So it's like, who's pouring here? And that's a whole nother conversation. Even with the Cedar Fest, he can't get too many breweries involved outside of the state who may want to be involved because of laws.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've been fighting I've raised my voice a lot about a lot of laws in Connecticut since the moment we started our brewery here. From the fact that you're only able to sell 4 packs to go.
Yeah, I remember that too. Yeah,
like we had the whole No Limits campaign that we just fought for, and they always, every time they make a change, they make another little slight change. It's like they just changed the wording a little bit on something, and so like when they gave us, after fighting for it, they gave us that they put another little snarky little comments like, oh well, if you want to sell 9 gallons, then you can't do this now. Wow. And that wasn't ever agreed upon. This is how legislation works.
Yeah, and
you have, let's call them political backed parties, not any like Democrat, Republican. This is like PACs, or I don't know what the word is. Lobbying groups. Okay. That's the word. Yeah. So you have like the lobbying group for like the package stores. You have the lobbying group for the bars, and so forth. So every time something is changed, they're always getting the little, oh, fuck, no, we'll agree to that. We'll agree to this, but just change the word. Just strike out that line, or no one's going to notice that one line over there striking out. And when people read it, oh, that sounds so good, and then they read it in a long sentence, but they don't read the context of what that change does that they struck out or maybe added later.
Yeah.
It sounds legit until you actually go to enforce it and you're like, oh, what? Oh, wait. We agreed that we would sell Connecticut brands, you know, and our breweries as part of the getting more beer. Like we don't need all the Jack Daniels and Jim Beam and all that stuff. We just want to sell Connecticut stuff.
Yeah.
You know, we want to be able to, that we would agree to that. So they made a Connecticut craft license. You can sell other things that you don't create. So, well, hold on. What about the collaboration beers we've been making with so-and-so and this person and that person?
Yeah.
Well, that's not what you agreed to. No, we never agreed that we weren't going to not be able to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're sneaky. Every,
Okey
you know,
doke.
what was it?
That's the okey doke.
The okey doke.
For sure.
Yeah. So where were we here? We were talking about Elisa. Oh, Cedar Park. Let's talk about Cedar Park, man. Jamal has this Jamal Robinson with New England Brewing Company has this amazing. Let's not position for New England. Jamal with Changing the Air Fest or Changing the Air organization, which is, let's put him as that as his title, because that's what he's really known for. Let's talk about that. What could you guys speak upon about Changing the Air and what your role is in that and what he's actually doing right downtown right now? I'm actually going to head up Jamal and see if he'll come and sit down with me.
Oh, that'd be great.
I'm just thinking about it. I was like, he needs to talk about it.
Right there.
Much needed.
So with Changing the Air Fest, he actually gives he's told us plenty of times too. He actually gives credit to us for like being
at the forefront.
at the forefront. More like a motivation for him to go ahead and go through with this. And I mean, we're humble, we love it, and he's like taken our idea and just took it to the moon. You know what I'm saying? But for the fact for him to help start and initiate like the Change in the Air Festival it was amazing, man. We've been there at some sort of capacity every year so far. So I remember like the first year they did it, I was out of town or something like that, or maybe at like one of my son's football games or something like that. So I know Jamel and Antron went the first year.
He's downplaying it. He was in Hawaii.
Yeah, he was in Hawaii.
I'm sorry.
On a beach, sipping martinis.
I think I was out of town.
Cocktails out of
Hawaii.
Probably hiking a mountain or something.
I try to play it off. I was just doing something. I was doing laundry that day on the beach in Hawaii.
Might have been busy.
But what we were the second? This is the third year?
Third.
The fourth. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I know last year. Oh yeah. So we were there. I was there for like the last 2 years. Last year was even more incredible because we finally, instead of just selling merch, we actually got to pour our own collaboration beer with Alvarium. Shout out Alvarium. Love Alvarium.
Cherokee, Brian.
Yeah.
The whole squad over there. They're
Love
great.
you guys. So that was awesome. And I mean, hell, shit, this year we're shameless plug, but we got the beer coming up with Armada here. So if we can get set aside a couple cases so we can pour at Changing the Air Fest, that'll be
dope.
Yup.
amazing.
Yeah.
But and then I know, so last year I know Jamal started doing small pop-ups throughout the summer.
Mm-hmm.
So we poured at the Seeing Sounds Fest that they had at the skate park, or one of the skate parks out in New Haven here. That was an amazing day. That was awesome. And then they did like basically one pop-up per month leading up to Changing the Air Fest in October. And then this year they took it to a completely different level. They bought a lot that wasn't used for like the past like 20 plus years or something like that.
Did they buy the lot or rent it?
Or maybe they're renting it.
That's a big investment.
Especially downtown.
Yeah, renting. But they completely converted it into a nice chill area, and I don't think they could have picked a better location because I mean it's right by Yale. So you're gonna have College Town in there. It's downtown New Haven. City life is basically like him having like a setup in like Central Park, New York, or something like that.
Yeah,
and then
nice.
people just get to stop by, and it's a small little intimate beer garden, but just to go there and go relax and just to utilize that area to further promote the initiative,
Beer, food,
Yeah.
everything.
my gosh.
man.
Yeah.
DJs,
Yeah.
Dueling.
Julio's
Yeah,
always
Julio.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. They I had gone down there. I love what it's going to contribute to downtown. I think downtown needs more attractions.
Yeah.
So like that lot has been kind of like an eyesore for God knows how long. You see it never really contributing.
Yeah.
And then they were able to get the I think it was like a pop-up beer garden during one of the night fests or something like that. And kind of just like continued from there. I don't know the whole background story. Like I said, we'll get Jamel on here for that. But I know that property had been proposed many a times. And I just said, it's like, what do you
Yeah.
how are you going to work with it? So I'm glad to see something's happening with it. It's right on, that's Orange Street.
Chapel.
Right? No, is it Orange? Yeah. Orange and Chapel.
Yeah.
And so like, one side you got the,
You got Trinity Bar on one
Trinity, that's what I was trying to think of the name right there. Trinity, and then you got Elm City Games, you got the Thai Place. You have a lot of good spots over on the western side of Orange right there.
Shout out to Gene too, man. Gene's been a big
Oh
help.
yeah. Yep. Shout out
Who's
Gene.
Gene.
Gene is was he?
He's I don't know like the exact title. Forgive me, Gene,
Is
but
it
I
Gene
know
with
he's a
Sita or
big.
somebody else?
No, with Sita.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
okay. Gene with Sita. Okay.
He's on the
You
committee
need to get
somehow.
over there. You talk to Gene.
And he's
You know
getting
what I'm saying?
like a lot of the acts. He's like part of
Coordinating.
that setup. Yeah, coordinating that.
Yeah,
like
matter of
getting DJs there, and all types of other types of entertainment and stuff like that, food trucks and everything like that. So, and then so for this year, since they're literally doing something every single week, literally until like the week before changing the Airfest in October, Jamal was sitting down with Gene one night. They were just kind of harping on things, and Jamal pitched the idea of doing the sampler pack thing, and he said, like, I really want to get Craft Crew involved this year because they should definitely be a part of changing the Airfest, which, I mean, I'm humbled to even,
definitely.
just for him to even say that, like,
Right.
thank you. I don't feel like we're
feel
owed
like
anything like that,
It's
so
taking our ideals and pushing it to the forefront. With, Jamal has the knowledge and the resources in the industry that we don't come across every day. So, like, for him to make sure we're involved with the things that he's putting into fruition is like he said, it's a humbling experience. So, the minute he goes to calling or texting, we're right there for him.
Every time.
We do anything we can to push the agenda.
Yeah.
And, like there's people, small businesses that's trying to push the forefront. Like I seen this weekend, which is the 23rd, I believe, 22nd, 23rd of June. Gamers Guild. It's like a video game thing. I've been talking with one of the guys who started it. He owns the barbershop I go to, and we've been in cahoots back and forth about how we can involve like the beer and the gaming together to do something together, and like to see their name on the bill. It's been amazing.
Gamers Guild. What's his name? Mike? No.
Gamers Guild guy I know is Kev.
Kevin.
What's Kevin Arch? Yep. What's his partner's name?
Well, he's the
I
one who
forget.
does the little pop-up gaming things?
Yes.
He did the Dulio's Fest, right?
Yep.
Or no, I thought it was Morse.
No, they're different.
Oh, that was here, right?
Yeah. So
They were, yeah.
who was the guy? I thought it was Mike, his kid or something. I don't
they
know.
were here in the tap room?
During Dooley's Fest.
Yeah.
He was down here. He took over the projector and all that stuff.
Oh, wow.
I'm trying to think. Why I know his name. It's not Gamers Guild though. It's somebody else.
I wasn't here yet. Remember, I came.
That's right. That's
I got
right.
here
No,
late.
you're right.
VR said they had
Yeah.
Switch playing
We'll figure it out. We'll plug that. We'll plug him.
Yeah.
We'll,
somewhere.
I'll
I
figure
was so
that out.
distracted by seeing Large Professor, so I was just like,
That was
Amazing.
Yeah.
That footage is big.
Yup. Large Professor. He didn't want to talk with me. I was like, kind of like a geek out moment. I think I told you the story. I was like, hey, dude, like, he's like just in his zone, whatever. All right, so, what is the future for Craft Crew? Like, where do you guys want? Like, you guys have 4 members, let's call it, of the crew. Are you interested in grabbing more? Is it more of something you want to make as kind of like you used the word brotherhood, I think earlier, right? Like a brotherhood. Is it something like, are there credentials to join, or is it just like, how do you get more people involved? Let's say.
I just feel like it's authenticity. Like, just when you build relations with people, it's just how it comes across, and if it's right, it's right.
Yep.
And that's just kind of how we kind of built it. Like me and James has been, like I've known James probably like his whole life because his cousin is one of my best friends growing up. But me and him have been very close as friends since about 18, 19 years old. We're pushing 40. We're not going to get into that part. But, 20 years of like, the brotherhood. And I've known Dale since I was in, 2 years apart? Since I was in 8th grade. He was in 6th grade. Yeah. So Antron being at the same level as them, coming through like the authenticity, and then him building relationships with these guys as well in the same format is just like what it is. So like if it's not forced, anything of that nature, like we've talked about having, females that attract the female crowd and, more Hispanics that attract more of the Hispanic crowd, things of that nature. So like that's just probably how it'll be. It could be 4 of us for the next 5 years. It could be 6 of us, in the next 6 months. But, as far as the future holds, we want to continue putting out content in a sense of where, we're educating in a sense, and letting people know, like, it's okay to walk into a brewery. It's okay to enjoy craft beer. They enjoy us being there and we enjoy being there, and plugging our culture into the industry as well. Like, hip hop music and the clothing and the sneakers. You
guys dress pretty white, to be honest with you guys.
we talk about we talk about doing a sneaker.
I'm kidding. I'm messing with you.
Well, when it comes to
I know this guy over here.
When it comes to fashion, this guy's it. We talked about sneaker and beer events and gaming and beer events and things of that nature. So. That's kind of where we're headed down, doing, hosting and doing events, and then also putting out content as well in the midst of it. So, we do have merch. We want to expand our merch. Creating more t-shirts, hoodies, hats.
That's where that's where it goes.
Glassware, things of that nature. So when we do pop out and pop up, when Johnny invites us down, I got this going on, we can come with some of our stuff as well, at the same time. And then with us down here pulling our fans, our group, our people, our followers into your brewery. So, helping small businesses expand, doing more community outreach and things in the community, because we're big on giving back.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Especially in the urban community. So, like, we're here down in New Haven. So, to do something down here would be big. We do a lot of things based out of New Britain. Me and Dale are from there. James is from the Hartford area. We've done things in that aspect of. So, sky's the limits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Craft Crew Show will be back soon.
I'm setting up. Yes, we finally have a legit space now. I bought a home in December, so
congrats.
My wife, thank you. My wife gave me the go to turn the garage bay into like the man cave area. So I figured that one I'm just gonna use. I was like, finally we got a place that we can just invite people to. Beer fridge is in there already, putting up decor and everything, gonna hook it up, make it look nice, and then now we can reverse this, and then we'll invite you over, and then we'll be asking you the questions.
Yeah, for sure. I love it. So, all right, so you see the future. What advice would you give to a young Black kid or young Latino kid that's like trying to you know, he wants to follow the crowd, or maybe like what's around him is like, my buddies aren't drinking craft beer, I want to drink the liquor and whatnot with them. What
Yeah.
advice would you give to them that's like I want to explore on my own, or I want to try and help my friends get involved? How would you advise them to becoming involved in the craft industry?
I mean, as far as like being involved in the craft beer industry,
Or getting themselves to, getting their friends to explore it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll answer it in like 2 parts.
Sure.
So as far as like the industry side goes, I would definitely notify them that if you want to get into the field, or if you want to get into the industry, it's not all about you just coming in and being a brewer. You don't have to just brew beer. You can go be a salesperson. You could be a rep for a certain region, like Joey from Lawson's is. He represents like the North.
Jamal was like the best salesman. He was
so
like
you can get
headhunted.
Yeah, you can get that position like a Jamal from Nepco. You can go get your certified Cicerone license and stuff like that and venture out that way. You can be a beer tender. You know, there's different avenues, and it's not just us telling you like, well, if you want to get into the craft beer industry, you got to be a brewer, and that's all you can do. Because I'm pretty sure not everybody wants to necessarily brew beer, but they might still want to be involved in the industry. So there's multiple outlets that I would tell them about that you can take that route and do with it what you will. Now, as far as just like the occasional drinker goes, there's so many different styles of craft beer. So if you don't like, when we done these beer mixers and stuff, a lot of people initially complain like, when I think beer, I think Corona, or I think Heineken, or I think like 40 ounces or something like that, like gross. And then that's when you introduce them to like, well, here's a lambic. This is still considered craft beer. So, like try this one out right here, or a cider, or, or you don't like that lager, but try this lime lager or something like that. That already has like the lime infused into the beer and everything without you having to physically throw a lime into it to give the taste. So there's like peanut butter stouts. Like there's so many different avenues that you can take. Saisons, do with it what you will, but there's so many different flavor profiles. There's so many different styles. Like, give it a shot. Yeah.
How do they convince their friends though? Like, hey guys, like, let's not go have Hennessy tonight. Let's do this. I think
hit up the Craft Crew mixer.
There you go. That's a good
what
idea.
I'm saying?
Yeah, Craft Crew mixer. I feel like sometimes like my bad, Dale. Sometimes just like we say, like the atmosphere, if it's inviting, one will be willing to go. And when you're there, a lot of places, a lot of breweries only have beer. And when you want to drink, you want to drink. You know what I mean? Like, we always push the initiative. Like, some people tell us, like, oh, you guys doing this, you doing that. We aren't out to aim to get people to start drinking, or individuals who don't. We're just those who are already involved in it. We just want to introduce them to a new life. Yeah. So it's like, you're my friend. This is what I enjoy. Come out with me. I bet you I can change your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
No, I was going to say that, I mean, even if you're just by yourself, go into a brewery, check it out, see how it makes you feel, see how the atmosphere is, see what beers you like. And then from there, you can recommend, hey, let's go to this place. Dope environment.
Yeah.
They're really friendly. Also, try this style of beer. It's different. It's not, I'm not trying to knock on any kind of beer, but it's a different style of beer. It has more flavor to it. It's a different color. You might like it. Give it a shot, and the next thing you know, you might be 2 beers in, you're having a blast. You know what I mean? So that's. But
even the evolution of a brewery here in Connecticut, like when you think about it, when we first started initiative, 6-7 years ago, to what it is today, you got food trucks at like every brewery almost every weekend. If you don't have food in the brewery already, a lot of breweries are tapping into hard liquor and other beverages as well. So, it's kind of time for everyone. Like, my wife's not a drinker at all. She would always be like, oh, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I don't want to drink. We went to AJ. Shout out to AJ, Antron's son. His first birthday party was at Kinsman, where they offer a plethora outside of just beer,
Mm-hmm.
where she was like, "Oh, if this is what it's like, I don't mind going with you."
Yeah, I could see like the lack of selection of choices, because even though you invite someone to a brewery, they might not always want to try beer. So like, yeah, we've learned that the hard way here. It's like we tried to go a whole year without a craft cafe license, and we ended up getting it because it was just you're basically having a whole crowd not join because Karen can't have her fucking martini, whatever.
Well, looking at your menu too, like to go forth, like you have a great selection of different styles of beers. Like at one point, James would be the biggest one to mention this. It'd be like, we walk in and it's New England IPAs all the way down the menu with maybe a lager or a stout stuck into it. You know what I mean? You got red ales, you have IPAs, you have Doppelbocks, you have stouts. You have a great selection of beer where, like mentioned what Dale was saying, try and beer and maybe influence your friend. Like, listen, I know you don't like this style of, this type of beer, but if you try this one, maybe you'll like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can kind of give them that gist. It's hard when you go to a brewery and there's only one style of beer with 14 names because the hops are different.
Mosaic.
You know what I mean?
Citrus and mosaic.
And now you don't really have options. So it's like, how am I going to sway my friend to drink craft beer if you have the same type of craft beer with different hops over and over again?
That's how I got my wife. My wife, she'll taste stuff. Like, she doesn't have a problem with tasting stuff. But that's how I got her a little bit more interested in beer, period, from Newpark doing their blender series.
Yep.
I brought her over there about 4 years ago. We went over there, bought a blender. She tried it, and since it was like heavily fruited, she fell in love with it. She was like, "Oh, this, if I could drink it, this type of style on a more of a consistent basis, then I'm fine with it." So that's what I was saying.
Find
like,
the balance. There's a beer for everybody, is what they say.
That's how I feel. I honestly feel that way now because I'm like, I like that challenge too. Like, so whenever we do these beer mixers, or like last year when we did the Seeing Sounds Fest for a Change in the Air festival, so many people walked up like I don't like beer or whatever, but I'll give it a shot. So I like those conversations, like, oh yeah, all right, well I bet you'll like this one right here. So then and I think we had a couple of cans of our Alvarium collaboration. Mm-hmm. So we poured those. They taste that one. That one was like pink fruit and guava. So they taste that, peach and pink guava. I'm sorry. And then they taste something like that, and they're like, "Holy shit! Like, yo, this is amazing! Like, see, and then you're walking over here with the stank face, like, I don't like beer. Yeah, try this.
Yeah, right.
So, have you guys ever traveled to New York to go check out like the craft beer scene or outside?
Connecticut is so far behind with the culture.
That's what my next point of this conversation is going to be right here.
It's like so far apart.
If I was to go to New York right now, I'm gonna tell you this: I'll walk in, and there's the demographic is completely mixed.
It's crazy,
especially in New York. You got black bartenders, white bartenders, Latinos. It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
Like, what is it? I think my next question is going to be something like, is it have anything to do with location? Like, is it Connecticut in general?
I think it's just Connecticut. I think they're slow. Connecticut's just slow to come to the culture.
I honestly believe that.
That's the best way to put it.
You go anywhere else.
And this is not like new in New York.
Chicago, California.
When I first got into craft crew, I was going to other half in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And it's so far apart.
Yeah.
I feel like adaptation to the hip hop culture is just where it's at in a sense. I walk in breweries now, you hear a lot more hip hop music than when it started, and you do see a lot more faces. And it's still, granted, it's still very minute, but like you said, like the atmosphere, the environment, making it more, more inviting, to one makes a big difference.
Yeah, we're not talking about you have to put on, hardcore gangster rap, but put on some beats, put on some instrumentals, but
Put on the riffraff.
Put on the riffraff.
Pick a night. Pick a night of the weekend. You know, like out here where, you know, Connecticut, a lot of breweries are open towards, you know, more or less the weekend. Even if you want to pick a Thursday night, Friday night, you know, you kind of
You just need to
entice
have a
it.
diverse playlist. I know what you're saying.
See how it goes.
We explore here. We play a mixture of things, and at the end of the day, the customers that come in on that day, it's varying. We found is that sometimes employers are just like, I'm tired of listening to the same the same playlists over and over and over. So they explore. But if you were to come in here, you can get everything from emo to rock to hip hop.
Yeah.
But outside of music, you know, shameless plug.
Yeah.
But once again at Armada, you had the Doolio Fest here, right? You also have live wrestling events here.
Yeah.
So just that big gap, you feel you're bringing in a lot more people as well. You know, you're making it inviting. Listen, we do this and we do that. So if we're not doing anything, you can still come and expect, you know, what we giving in these days. And I feel like that goes a long way, especially you being in New Haven. You know, it's a very diverse, a big city here in Connecticut where you want to attract as many individuals as possible. So I feel like you're hitting every avenue, you know, like live wrestling. Like wrestling's big. WWE is huge. So it's like, you know, everyone can't make a WWE event.
Absolutely.
You're usually at the casino or up in Hartford. You live in New Haven. You're like, I want to go, but the amount of money I have to spend on tickets and then I have to do a travel is just not in the budget. So like for you to have that event here, you bring those type of crews and those type of people into your brewery as well. So I feel like that goes, and I know you do a lot more, but those are two things that stick out to me where I feel like, you know, as far as diversity goes, it'd be a big factor.
Yeah. We are dying to do something with wrestling with you.
I'll body slam you.
I think you can pick me up, Johnny.
I got that.
No,
We'll get it on camera.
We'll get it on camera.
I'll squat you twice.
That's clutch. That's clutch that you do these types of events too, because everybody started from somewhere. They all started off, the pros that you see like in AEW or WWE, they all started off as amateurs and amateur circuits. So who knows? Somebody that's coming through the amateur circuit right here in your
Hopefully
parking
one day
lot
I could tell a story.
might
I
see
played at a
them right
brewery.
there in WWE, even if they're not like one of the top tier acts, but they're just like a jobber or something like that. Then you know that's all that matters.
And
They made their
that,
dreams
like
come
when
true.
I went to Green City 3 years ago, other half, you know, Green City in Brooklyn, they had wrestling going on then. Like they already been doing this, you know? So,
Yeah. Wrestling, I grew up on wrestling.
Yeah.
I loved it. I wanted to be a professional wrestler when I was a child. I remember I saw WWE at the New Haven Coliseum, and every time my mom sees me talk about wrestling or wrestling conversation comes up, she always tells the story. She's like, you know, Bret Hart had touched my hand, and I guess I went home or went to her, and then I was like, I'm never gonna wash my hand again, you know, something like that. You know, and as a kid, I had like, you know, the Ultimate Warrior freaking like pillow doll that you'd fucking slam and jump off your bed and whatnot. And I grew up in this this area that I lived for a little while was in Savin Park condos in West Haven. There was like this abandoned basketball court at the top in the woods there. That was, I guess, something, I don't know if it was part of the condominium association, but it was kind of
You grew up in
just,
West Haven?
yeah.
I lived in Meadowbrook.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Bull Hill Lane over there.
I don't know if it was a part of, regardless of the story, we put old mattresses up there, and God knows where these mattresses fucking came from. Old mattresses and tarps, and we made our own freaking ring up there. And we would do every move underneath the sun to each other. And like when we were at the pool, we would practice like the certain flips, you know, the Hardy brothers were a big thing.
Hardy
and
boys,
then like, you know, the forward backflip, what is it? I can't think of the word for that one. But you know, we would practice these things as a kid. I was obsessed with wrestling, the athleticism. And as an adult, you know, I started to come to an age I fell off of it and whatnot. But like looking at it as an adult now, going like, holy shit, the athleticism required to perform those type of things and to actually beat the shit out of your body is unreal.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you see certain acts, you know, the WWE stars up today. It took me a while to get into like some of their characters, but I was like, all right, I see it now. I see it now. I get it. I'm into it. It's that's not the same nostalgia I have when I remember the feeling I had when I had Hulk Hogan and
Yeah,
the Hitman
yeah,
Hart and
yeah.
Shawn Michaels and, you know,
Sweet chin music.
sweet. Yeah. You name it. Not the same nostalgia, but now I see it. It's just as corny as it is now than it was back then.
Yeah.
I just saw it in a different view as a
yeah,
kid,
yeah,
but I still love it. I still love the everything about it. And the wrestling thing we got to do here was like kind of like a dream come true.
Yeah.
I was
Okay.
like, man, I have a brewery and I get to fucking put on wrestling events. I was like, man, this is freaking awesome. We have a great partnership with, you know, Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. They come in once a month in the summer and these kids, the people ask like, is it professionals? Like these are pros. Like they're the young pros.
Yeah.
They're like, what you have the what is it? Baseball with AAA.
Yeah.
Is like
Like
Major
a farm league or something. Like,
it's
if you
like the
will.
guys that are going to be the next WWE
yeah,
guys. And they're like, what?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. The school that they have is no joke. The kids coming out of there is great.
Man, my kids got me back into it because I was heavy on it as a child too. Basically all the way up through 8th grade, but once I entered high school, it was like out the window. I was worried about like jock stuff. But
Y'all
but
go.
Sneakers and females.
man, like around like maybe like 2019, 2020, my kids started watching it religiously, and finally, you know, they got me back into it because, you know, they wanted the toys for Christmas or birthdays and stuff like that. So they amassed this crazy amount of wrestlers, and I'm like, damn. So I kept like a small box of toys from when I was little. So I still had D'Lo Brown.
Mhm.
I had Stone Cold. I had Badass Billy Gunn. And I think I had like one more.
No Booker T.
No, I didn't have Booker T.
Uh,
So I gave those I gave those to the kids. They started playing with them and stuff like that. They amassed like their own collection, bought them their rings and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But I live like vicariously through them too, because these are like the same feelings that I had when I was
Yeah.
younger. So I didn't have the wrestling ring. I had a couple of wrestling figures, but I used to use I would make like a fake table out of Legos or something like that.
Yeah.
And, like you'll hear me in my room like, you know, like slamming them through the tables and stuff like that. But we've been to 2 WWE events now. But I was like, yo, it took me 30. I used to ask my parents for that shit all the time, like pay-per-view events. That's back when you had to actually spend like $100 on pay-per-view. Yeah, like I'm not ordering that shit. Like, I'm like,
a month.
I gotta watch WrestleMania.
We're talking about culture in different states compared to Connecticut, and then we got into wrestling. I agree about the culture thing in other states. It's quite amazing that you can go to California. California is actually the worst example to use because they're just sometimes they're way ahead of everybody in terms of like, you know, life, you know, acceptance of everything. But like, for instance, you go to New York and it's like, you literally walk into a whole nother world when you go there. And one of the things in us choosing a spot in New Haven particularly was I see the opportunity to make a change here. When you go to New York, there's a lot of brick buildings. You know, you have a lot of these craft breweries that are popped up in them. I was inspired by that ages ago, and I said, I want to do something cool like that. I want to have a brewery in a brick building. And listen, I could have chosen any brick building in all of New Haven, and I could have chosen it in a different neighborhood, but I chose it in Fairhaven. I chose it there because I think a neighborhood like this needs something like it.
Yeah.
One, to open up the doors to hopefully bringing in a cultural diversity of customer demographics to, you know, enter in, and we're seeing it. You know, that's good. You know, we're seeing more, you know, Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, African American culture, like individuals, I should say, walking through the door.
Absolutely.
Holy shit! There's a brewery in my neighborhood. They would have no clue.
Yeah.
One, they don't come down this way because there's not much. It's an industrial area.
Yeah.
It's not like we're posted up on Grand Avenue or Grand
Yeah,
Street,
absolutely.
you know, Grand Avenue, and they're like, oh yeah, I walk by it every single day or I drive by it on my way to drop off my kid. No, they just find out through word of mouth they're like, no fucking way.
Right
No
down
way
there,
there's a brewery.
right from the park. We should stop by.
A lot of people go to the park. They're like, wait, there's a brewery down the
Summertime
street?
is crazy over there.
So we see it. And the thing is, I have to agree, but also disagree is like, they're not afraid to walk in. They go into, they just go into every place.
Yeah.
You should never feel ashamed to walk into any business. You're a human at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Regardless of the color of your skin. Craft beer is for everybody.
Yeah.
And I think that what you guys do is great for the community. And people just need to get comfortable just exploring. Get outside of your neighborhood, get outside of, your 5 square blocks that you don't, ever exit, get off of take a different route from work, home that day, go try a new restaurant. I'm guilty of it myself. Typically when it comes to eat, we're just like, where do we want to go eat? It's like, the same 5 freaking spots, we always name. But when we go do explore a new spot, we're like, holy smokes, that experience was so amazing. Yeah. And I think that no matter who you are, you're going to have that with craft beer.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm different with that. I every week I'm going to a different brewery. I like
That's
to.
facts.
Yeah. What I like to do is
part of your identity
well,
now.
I don't announce that the craft brew is there. I like to go there and sit down and see how I'm treated first.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
The silent shopper or secret
Silent
shopper, what they call it.
As funny as it sounds, is like sometimes we do walk in places and get, somewhat special treatment from, like you're familiar with us. We have a long-standing relationship with you. So, we
I
greet
kicked you
each
out
other.
2 weeks ago. What the fuck are you talking about?
There's other places who've come across our page or what we do, and they don't know us personally. So they might recognize us, and you might get a little special treatment, like he said. So it's perfect that he can go in and we can go in places and just, try to enjoy a beer.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing too. Like whenever we get, or like whenever we reach out to like these black-owned breweries or just any brewery, like in general, like we always offer to pay. Like we never expect anything for free. We want to support and things of that nature. So just like in a genuine sense, like whenever we reach out to you, if we're doing like a beer mixer or something like that, and we're asking for your product so we can sample it, because not only we promoting ourselves, but like we're promoting your brand too. But I always say, like, we'll pay for shipping and all of that stuff. Don't worry about it. But a lot of times they'll accommodate you and just say, no, shit, don't worry about it.
If you're
man.
doing
like,
something, you have a good cause. You're trying to introduce, you're basically a salesman, for whatever brand, and you're trying to get more people interested. If it's something community oriented, all over, no matter where it is, like we donate to so many different events. It's beer over here, beer over there. We have a fundraiser for this. Like if it's like, and we even say like on the contact form, like if you're not within a certain mileage of like our business, like what am I going to do helping out? I mean, granted, it probably helps something, but like you don't support my local community if you're beyond 20 miles from me.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like don't call me from Massachusetts asking for donations.
Yeah.
If you're doing something in our neighborhood and it's going to make an impact, we're always on board.
Yeah.
We just did a big, donation for Arts and Ideas, big festival downtown New Haven right now.
Okay.
This podcast will be posted after that's done, but yeah. Anyways, So, like, breweries are community hub spots, and they're there to uplift the community, to bring everyone together for a place to just chat.
Yeah.
Talk ideas. Talk politics. Surprisingly, like that's not allowed anymore. But like the whole idea of back in the day is like, you didn't go on social media and just say what you wanted to say and run away.
Yeah.
You went to the bar and you said what you wanted to say about what needs to change in your neighborhood, what needs to change at the local government, state government, and federal government. Nowadays, people don't like you talk about anything like that. They're like, "What the? Nope." They'd run away and they curl into a little ball. But like, you should never be afraid. Like here, we're open for all conversation.
It's like barbershop talk, man.
It basically is barbershop talk, unless you're fucking picking on someone. If you're picking on someone, that's a different subject.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
let your voice be heard, and that's Oh, we'll talk about it, bro.
Just with some
So the Twin Towers, you ever see building number 7, the way that it collapsed on itself?
It's underground, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they stole all the gold.
Oh my
They
God,
stole
that
it
whole
after they
thing.
melted it. Then it went into a big
Oh,
funnel.
that's what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
The jet fuel melted the gold. There you go. Steal it all.
Open the third eye, bro.
And it went straight through the earth
Just
all the way to
way
Iraq.
those-
And that's where the
exactly.
weapons
Just
of
the
mass
way those
destruction
things
were.
collapse. Like, stop.
Because he's like, oh, they're on to something. We gotta.
Episode's got canceled. We already have a little warning on the bottom of the thing right now.
We're going too deep. We're going too deep.
Next thing you know,
Back to talking about sneakers or something. Okay?
all the microphones get muted.
My favorite sneakers right now.
Came out on 9/11. No, sorry.
I call this shoe
Just
the
jokes,
North
just
Tower, the
jokes.
South Tower. Oh man.
We joke around a lot, people. That's all.
But that's what the craft crew is also about. You know, we also are
We like to have
just
fun.
not
man.
about beer. We don't get up here and talk about beer the whole 2-3 hours.
No, we talk
you know,
about our kids. We talk
kids,
about our respective
sports, these
significant
guys talk about
others,
sports.
sports, sneakers, fashion, music. Music is huge.
Yeah.
Oh my
Anything
gosh.
culturally
So,
appropriate.
All right. So, what do you, music wise, what are you currently listening to? Like, if I was to go on your Spotify most recently played, what is something you're listening to right now?
oh man, for me, all right, James,
Swift.
me personally, you're Taylor Swift.
He's a Swiftie.
He's a Swift.
Absolutely no way, because I'm a Denver
We were
Broncos fan
both
and she's
young
dating
when
Kansas City Chiefs player, so I can't do that.
Snazzy.
But me personally, James, you're definitely gonna see a lot of Madlib, MF Doom, The Alchemist, Big Hit Boy, and Action Bronson, man. That's my
I
guy.
actually put on Action Bronson. I was grilling outside yesterday.
That's
Action
my-
Bronson, dude. Yeah,
Action
he just
Bronson
dropped a
been-
new
he's been popping
something.
up a lot for me.
He's releasing a new album soon because he just released like 2 or 3 new singles. So.
MF Doom, I get down with.
Yeah.
Madlib, can't remember all of them, but Alchemist. Isn't that Action's buddy?
Yeah, they did a
Fuck
Fuck
That's
That's
Delicious,
Delicious show
Yeah.
together.
I recognize the name.
Mayhem Loren.
What you got?
Me
Big Body
lately it's
Best.
been like anything 90s New York. So some Jay, some Nas. I'm a big Locks fan. Everybody knows that. So
Yes, sir.
They're always in rotation. For like new upcoming, there's a lot of Griselda. I do listen to a lot of Alchemist stuff as well. So me and James go back and forth about samples and producers. Like
All the time,
we've
man.
been geeked out about that type of stuff for years. So it's just conversations we often have. But like,
There's gonna be a
I've
lot of
been-
episodes of Craft Crew about that,
Yeah,
like
I've been-
samples.
I've been East Coast, like New York based, basically hip hop as of late. But then you'll catch me. I have my moods where it's just like 70s soul music,
That's true.
like constant, or 90s R&B. Those are probably usually my go-tos. Those 3 genres of music.
Yeah. Well, I'm listening to some MF Doom, a little bit of Elzai, Madlib, Bodie James.
oh yeah, Boldy.
Yeah, Bodie James, Alchemist.
You guys listen. You guys share the same playlist. Are you guys on the same Spotify account? Share.
I'm always sending them.
We always send the songs to each
I
other.
get it, I get it. So that's
Alchemist
what's
has been
currently,
releasing
yeah.
so much stuff
I
lately.
love how you looked yours up first. You're like, fuck,
Yeah.
we all have the same shit.
Oh my god, hold on. I can't
I was
forget.
trying to get something different.
Rock Marciano.
I knew what you were
Rock-
doing.
Yo, Rock Marciano.
Rock
Marciano.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry, I can't believe I
I
forgot to
gotta listen.
mention
All right,
Rock Marciano.
Put that when we're done with this. We gotta
Yeah.
put some of that on the radio.
Yeah,
Yo,
Rome
Rock
Streets.
Marciano.
You know,
man. Oh, Rome
Rome.
Streets is dope.
Yeah,
That's
man.
how Griselda based, man.
Yeah.
Is that you're talking about? Are you guys referring to the TV show Griselda?
No, not the
No,
show.
no.
Basically, with their group, they're kind of based their group with their name off of that.
Okay.
That woman.
Yeah.
They're based out of Buffalo.
Okay.
They're just
Buffalo,
They're
New
just,
York.
You're gonna have to
East-
share me something.
yeah, they're just
Put
together-
East Coast hip hop
Conway the
rappers. You know,
Machine.
90s
Yeah,
guys.
see, so dag, it was like, oh, one of my homegirls that I went to a high school with, that I grew up in Virginia with, she had a post like a couple years ago that said like, cause she lives in New York. So like when, you know, when people on the subway, they like to mind their own business and have their headphones on and stuff like that. And one of her comments one day was like, leave me the fuck alone. Like, don't you know, like I'm trapping in my mind right now. So like, you like the conscious stuff from like, I love Common. I love like J. Cole, Talib Kweli, Mos Def. I love the conscious rap that talks about like the real realities of life and stuff like that. Totally can relate to it, especially being Black and Puerto Rican. I can relate to a lot of
Rican?
it. Yeah, mi madre, Boricua. I love you, mommy. But I mean, yo, you, I didn't live that life, you know what I'm saying? But then you do love to live vicariously through artists. So like a Mobb Deep, like a Lox, like Griselda, like the people who were actually out there in the streets, like really doing some grimy stuff. The
Onyx.
cocaine music. So like, Jeezy, like 2 Chainz, oh my God,
Let's let Dale. Dale needs to tell us what's on his list.
Like,
you gotta,
Don't cut Dale out right now. I got you.
I don't think it's just hip hop for me. Like, you catch me on a good day, I'll be listening to The Doors. Like, I enjoy The Doors. I enjoy Jim Morrison.
So-
like,
Hey, I didn't expect those type of answers.
Yeah,
It's okay.
yeah.
Yeah, what you got? Give me the
like
top
Hall &
5
Oates
that's on
and
your
stuff,
list
too.
right
Don't
now.
get me wrong. I love
This
some
guy's
yacht
about
rock.
to list his entire library.
I get it in.
I go top 5 right now.
What have you been listening to? Last 5 things.
So, for a fact, J. Cole, I don't care about the apology or whatever. I still rock with J. Cole.
I hear you.
Ever since his second mixtape. But that's another conversation.
Real quick, they'll put me on a Cole. Years ago,
What else?
he put me on the J. Cole.
Oh, he put you on a
years
J.
ago.
Cole. Okay.
Ever since, what was it? Not Friday Night Lights. It was
Before that,
before that. But anyways, J. Cole, I say Alchemist. Action Bronson, without a doubt, Blue Chips.
Oh my gosh.
That's probably my
that was the
favorite
Yeah.
right there.
mm-hmm.
A bit of Rock Marciano, but oh man, when I edit, I've been listening to Conductor Williams.
Oh my gosh. His beats are crazy.
Conductor.
For some reason,
I have his shirt
have a
too.
problem.
His instrumentals just gets me in a mood, and I'm just very productive. Last but not least, I still listen to JC. You know how he lost his 92 bricks. That's it. So a lot of East Coast, some West Coast here and there, sprinkling with Dr. Dre back then. You know, gets me in the mood if I have to go to a shoot. You know, I gotta thug it out. Put on the Chronic. But
Yo,
that's about it.
Okay.
yeah.
I put my son on to Dr. Dre, my oldest.
Oh, and Taylor Swift.
And Taylor Swift. There we go. Swifty.
Oh,
we
and Taylor
got
Swift.
it.
Shake it off.
I've been clearly I have lacking on my the way I'll say it. Alchemist. I don't think I've given him the credit that is due. And now that you've mentioned it 4 times in a row, I will have to re-listen to him because I did like it. I gave him a shot, but I totally fell off the world on him. Like just I wrote him off. I didn't think much of it. I think it was during the time when I was watching Fuck That's Delicious too. So like, whatever. I felt like he was kind of picked on in that TV show, and he was also kind of just like, I don't know, maybe just. I think they use his music in some of the things too. Like
if you watch a lot of the episodes, there was a lot of stuff that he just didn't want to try.
Yeah, he just had no interest in it.
So I think that's why he got picked on a lot.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, yo, come just try it, try it out. But that was a little difficult because, like Action Bronson comes from like a chef's background. So he started off as a chef. He got injured And then
Brought all his boys on like a TV
after
show.
he got injured, he started focusing more on
Content.
music and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah,
so
okay.
I mean, he didn't necessarily go wrong. He put a lot of his people on and stuff, but that's the only reason why I feel like Alchemist gets picked on a lot
Yeah.
with that, because it was a lot of episodes. It's just like, I ain't eating that shit.
Yeah. That's why he made that song.
One of the things that's been pumping me up every day.
Yeah.
I just
Arr.
Well, one of the things that's been pumping me up. I was prepping for like a 5K. I did it for Gaylord Gauntlet. It's a 5K obstacle race up in Wallingford, and I already did it. Yeah, I was
nice.
prepping for it. Yeah, it was
Congrats.
fun.
Nice.
So yeah, but like one of the things I was doing, listening to at the gym that was pumping me up was Linkin Park and Jay-Z Collision Course.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like,
they did a whole album, right?
Dude, that whole album.
Yeah.
It was like fire. I mean, yes, it was already pre-written music, like music that you just mashed up.
Yeah.
It was kind of like
because they did Encore.
it was kind of like a Danger Mouse or whatever, kind of like a mix.
Yeah,
I
yep,
can't think of the
yep,
guy's
yep.
name. Yeah. Of that era.
Yeah.
But it was like the first time you got to see all that come together. And so that was, I think my wife was like, dude, remember this song? I was like, oh yeah. And then
Yeah.
just pumped me for the entire like months of whatever prep for it. But yeah, in terms of that, I was listening to Action lately. Actually last night as I was cooking steak tacos.
Oh man, that sounds amazing right now.
Oh yeah, I had my wife go out. She got like a New York strip steak, cut
Sliced
it up, cumin, garlic powder, onion powder, salt, pepper, chili powder,
Oh yeah,
a little bit of lime.
Can't go wrong.
I can't do it. Why you always all on my back? Why you gotta do me like that? Anyways,
Yo, Mayhem Loren got like his own little cooking thing that he be doing now too, man. He been chefing it up. Yeah, just he helped catapult these guys.
okay.
Speaking of Danger Mouse did a collab album with Black Thought.
Yeah,
Which is
because
pretty
there's an
dope.
MF Doom track on that one too.
Yeah.
Was Danger Mouse the one who did the Grey album? That was the Beatles and Jay-Z.
I don't know that
That's a
one.
good question.
I'm gonna have to go on Spotify and look that
That was
one up.
like
Yeah.
back. How old are you? 30.
I turned 37 this year.
Yeah, all right. So we're the same age. So that was our era.
Damn, I'm the
Yeah, I
only
don't remember Gray.
old one here.
You know,
You know about it?
Yeah, I'm 44.
Are you 44? Yeah.
See, he's been alive longer. He knows.
Dude, it was like, I remember, because so this whole like mashup, hip, Danger Mouse.
The
Yeah.
Gray album. So they did that,
Nice.
and they did Numbcore with. So like, how many different
I don't-
variations of the Black album
No,
did
no,
they do?
he had nothing to do with this.
No.
No?
No, this was like, you ever heard of Girl Talk, the DJ? I don't know, I'm trying to think of like people who like mash up songs, like whatnot. So like, there's like DJs that go out there and like there's mash up songs, and this guy came out with this, and this was like 2005, maybe 2008 era. What do you got on the dates? There you go. Boom.
Wow.
All right. So we were introduced to this. I remember it was like, I just remember listening to it in my car. We're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
You've taken the lyrics from this song,
Added
put
it to-
the beats to this song and like blended them all together.
Yeah.
Like this was
A good
before a lot of it.
blend take you a long
Yeah,
way
well,
too.
it's-
Yeah, but
it's-
it has to be the right blend, because we've been to venues before events where it's just like, what the fuck?
Well, this was like composed
you can't
and
make
the
a
time was
segue
taken.
into that song from
You know
this
what I'm
song.
trying to say?
Yeah.
It was really put together, and it was a lot of it was obviously, I would think, like hip hop DJ inspired stuff. How many tracks have you heard people that somehow been able to like just only get the lyrics to in a section,
Yeah.
and just as they're spinning it back and forth like over a beat.
Yeah.
Like they did this on a digital level.
Yeah.
And this was kind of like the era of like digital music. This is before Skrillex. This is before a lot of those
Yeah.
like names you hear.
Yeah.
DJ Tiesto and whatnot. Who knows? But
Yes.
yeah, it was cool. The Gray album. Actually, I'm gonna listen to that later. because it was
man.
one of those things.
You know what, too? And
That was the 99 Problems album. I believe.
I don't even like to get 99 Problems. That was the
That was
Black
the
album. That was Black album.
So it was a Black album.
Yeah.
It's the Beatles White.
That's why I was like,
Yeah.
how many variations of this shit did they do? No, but I do like listen to like a lot of different genres. But as far as like EDM goes and stuff like that, and like a lot of like super duper like pop music, I leave that up to like my wife because my wife likes a lot of that shit.
Honey, we're
But-
going to the casino tonight and we're taking Molly.
Me, I'm like, but I'm such a huge 70s soul fan because so many songs of like what I like nowadays or just in general from growing up. So many of those songs from the 70s were like sampled, man. And it's not even just soul music because oh my God, who Laura Nyro. She was like a gospel type of artist, but like even Kanye sampled her for The Glory on the Graduation album. So like you hear those different types of samples and it takes you down a different road. So like I like country. There's country music that I like. I think Laura Nyro would have been considered more country than versus like gospel. I'm sorry. So let me correct myself on that one right there. But like you hear a lot of these samples and like when you fall in love with the actual like hip hop song or rap song that they made, naturally I'm like, all right, holy shit, this sounds like a sample. So let me go on like whosampled.com or something like that just to see what the original song was. And then you hear the original song and you're like, fuck.
That's the rabbit hole.
Oh my God. Like, no, this is so much better. Like this is is music right here. Like this just sounds like music is pure, is coming from the heart and everything. And you know, of course, it's almost I almost kind of compare it to like movies that were made like back in the day, like in the 80s and 70s and stuff like that, because it's not CGI involved. So you have like makeup artists and people actually putting work in to make it look realistic. But the same thing, you can compare it to music. They weren't making it look, they weren't making it look realistic, but it was realistic. So
I have
like,
a game for you guys. That's it. Oh, your nose are right. So I know we got to wrap this up soon. But I got a game. And
I want to say steak tacos, man.
I know.
You wanna say
that,
tacos?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, man.
Dude.
And
you
yesterday
need to
was
go
Tuesday.
to Taco
It was supposed to
Haven
be
right here.
Taco Tuesday.
It's
So
on my
Taco
phone,
Wednesday.
but I'm gonna see if I can get it back up. But this is I did this bad cuts, good cuts thing with the last guy we had in here, Skull and Combs, and kind of inspired me to every guest we have is to do it. But I want to see if I can possibly regenerate some of the questions I had. And actually, my phone just doesn't want to. There you go.
iPhone.
Ha! It's actually one of the questions.
You already know that's an argument.
You know, it's not much you can say either because the Android is like light years ahead of
It
iPhone.
sure
It's so
is.
crazy. Oh my God, did you see like the new video that iPhone just released for like the new iPhone like 15 or 16
Well, they got
when
a
they were saying,
USB charger now.
no, it was like you can change the colors or like your apps and shit like that. And it was just like, thanks.
All my apps are different
Like,
colors.
thank you. If you want to turn your apps yellow, now you can do it by doing this. We're like, woo.
That's what they do.
We all can do it.
Red people in the background. I'm like,
Yeah.
y'all should
I hate it here.
I did that.
save that for something else. Android's getting in
Like, yo, you know what? Just shut the fuck up for like the next like 20 years.
The circle.
This new iPhone, what?
Just say, yeah, don't even say what
The circle
what
shit
the
is-
functions are and shit. Just be like, hey, we're putting out the iPhone 17 in October, so take it.
All right. You guys ready? I got it.
Yeah.
I was able to get it. All right. Whoops. I guess I have this.
What are we doing? Like some drink champs type?
No. So I had bad cuts.
Like
good,
Rakim or
I had,
KRS-One?
yeah, basically, yeah, this or that it's called. So I had bad cuts, good cuts. It was really good. I showed him a bunch of pictures of people who had really good haircuts, people who had very bad haircuts, and I got to ask him, for this one, I have some this or that for you. And
Okay.
I figured we'll do it a little bit to what you guys represent here with the craft crew, and you wanted hip hop would be one of the things you brought up.
Okay.
So let's talk about it right now. Tupac or Biggie?
I will have to drink to that.
Biggie.
I'm going.
I'm gonna say big because
That's difficult for me
it's
because
very difficult.
I feel like.
That's the whole point of this or that.
All
This
right,
is
so-
if you had to die on the sword by one of them,
Holy shit!
I would go with Biggie then.
Biggie.
No, what? I'm going with Tupac.
Okay.
Me,
Yeah,
I felt like
I had to
so.
go with Tupac.
Whenever that comparison comes to those two artists right
Just
there,
give
I
me a
feel like
simple answer.
it's difficult because like
It's difficult to die the sword.
yo, Tupac.
We're gonna die by the time you give us this answer.
Tupac spoke more on like life events that were like real.
Okay,
Gotta
sure.
So-
pick one, James.
But,
First off,
but Biggie,
Biggie,
but
can't you see?
Yo,
Yeah.
Biggie had the voice and he just had the stories. So I gotta go big.
All right.
I gotta go
He
big.
also had a lot of pause moments.
Biggie.
Yeah, that's
He
why
does,
I said
he does
That's
too.
why I said Tupac.
Okay.
Let's talk about it.
Speaking of that, do you guys ever hear we were talking about conspiracy here? Do you hear the conspiracy about that Biggie got all of his raps from another guy?
Yeah, out of the South, right?
I can't remember, but
Are
there
you
was a guy who
serious?
literally
Yeah.
sounds just like
Yeah,
him.
It was some guy
It
out
was
of the
that
South.
same beat.
Yeah.
No way.
Yes. Pull it
I think
up.
it was a reference track.
Dude, it was basically the same beat, like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Oh, that's for Juicy.
Yeah, Juicy.
Yeah.
That was the song.
It was a reference track, though.
But he used that,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the guy's name I feel like was Juicy as well.
something
yeah?
along that
The
line.
guy
He's
he
out
took-
of the South, though. I can.
He like it sounds so similar. You're like,
Was it just that one song or was
it's
it
the
multiple?
It was
But
the
then again,
Juicy
this-
song, but the whole.
I seen this shit on
flow-
Facebook.
I know you. What do you know? You can't believe half the stuff you see.
I don't know. The
So,
trust on
anyways,
Facebook.
all right, East Coast, West Coast,
No, I know Jay-Z jacked a lot of shit, yo.
East Coast,
Yeah, East Coast.
East Coast,
East Coast.
East Coast or West?
yeah,
Oh, I gotta represent the East, baby.
East. Okay, East Coast. Old school or new school?
Old school.
Old school.
Yeah, old
Jay Z
school.
or Nas?
Nas,
Nas.
more original.
Nas.
I do love Jay Z, but damn. Kendrick or J Cole?
I'm going with
Holy
J. Cole, man.
shit.
Did you
I'm
say?
going
Did you
with-
say you introduced Cole to them?
Yeah,
or
we
who?
got to represent
Yeah,
for Light Skin
yeah.
Brothers.
I'm gonna just say Cole because
Nah, because we
That's-
be getting
and
put in
that's
too
a-
much gay
that's a
shit.
biased opinion.
Oh my
but
god,
I'm gonna
hold
say
on.
Cole.
Pause.
Sorry. I
Wow.
ain't mean to.
We all.
I see too many. No, it's too many memes, and you know they fly. Oh my! Look, you know they flying around. No, the light skin coalition gets disrespected way
We're
too
all
much,
canceled.
yo. Kendrick.
All right.
Kendrick.
Okay, everyone got an answer. So you
I'm
have
sorry.
Kendrick?
I love the.
Yeah, I got Cole.
love for the
Cole,
LGBTQ community.
All right, 3 Coles. Wow.
Cole.
What about Drake or Kanye?
Kanye.
I'm
Yeah,
going with Kanye.
Kanye.
Yeah.
Kanye.
yeah, by far.
Kanye.
I know,
Still
Kanye
as
really
crazy.
Kanye.
I like Kanye in general.
I'm still waiting for those
I will
songs
get
from
canceled
him.
for saying this. I don't even give a fuck.
Kanye and not Yeezy, right?
I
Because those
love,
are two different people.
I love Kanye. I think he is one of the best fucking artists out there. I think he has introduced us to so many different things. People don't understand like how many albums he's produced.
Yeah.
They don't understand his like I get it. He says some crazy shit on TV, whatever.
So do I,
He's like
but,
he's like
you know.
he's I can't even say the word I want to
You know
say.
what?
I'm probably get canceled for using it. He's not all there. But know what? Every genius is not all there.
I agree.
And I defend him. He says some shit, and everyone may not agree with it, but listen, he's still
A felon is getting ready to be president again, so
whatever.
Kanye's my
Kanye.
guy.
I don't like Drake because I think Drake
Yo,
has a
shots
ghostwriter.
fired.
Yeah,
I just never been a big fan of Drake at all. Just never.
I know I've definitely gotten down to his grooves.
He's gotten hit. He got hits. Don't get
Yeah.
me wrong. He's
Yeah.
great, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just not my cup of tea.
Yeah,
No.
understandable.
No, I'll definitely represent for the light skin, but
Kanye, baby.
Kanye is the man.
Kanye, he is.
Depression.
Drake be stealing motherfuckers' girls
all right.
too, man. That's why motherfuckers be mad
Something.
at him.
All right. I don't think this was the original question I had, but it was a. I think someone got mixed up here. But let's go DJ Premier or Dr. Dre. I'll just go. with
I'm going
shit.
Premier. I'm old school. Old school. Premier.
Yep. Okay.
That's
Gangstar, man.
Yeah.
That's tough.
That is.
DMC or Public Enemy?
I gotta go. Hold on, wait. I'm
Oh,
going
did you never
Premier.
not choose?
I'm going
Yeah,
Premier.
Premier.
I'm going
Okay.
Premier.
Run
Who?
DMC or Public Enemy?
I'm going PE
Yeah,
because
you gotta
they
go
just
Public Enemy.
represented for the culture more.
I agree.
So I'm going
That-
PE.
that was my
I
exact
agree with
reason.
that.
And that
I go
predates
Public
me
Enemy.
a little,
Yeah.
but fight the power, baby.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fight the power.
That song plays in my head once a day.
Run DMC got the check though.
I
Adidas.
work in the school district. Fight
started
the
it.
power is a
They got the
regular.
check.
Is that right?
Yeah,
I didn't. Okay.
they were the first non-athletes to get signed
To get
to
sponsored.
yeah.
Okay.
That was the culture right there.
Yep, they started that shit for real. So,
All right. Let's talk about some foods.
oh hell yeah.
Pizza
here
or
we go.
burgers?
Oh fuck.
I might
Yeah,
have to go-
pizza.
I'm
We're
gonna
in
go
New
pizza.
Haven here. You know what I'm saying?
I guess
Okay,
all
well,
right.
pizza.
I'll
What's your
go.
favorite pizza? What's your favorite of the three New Haven pizza spots? Modern.
Modern.
Did I have modern? No, we went to Nolo.
From Stratford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Sorry.
had Sally's. I have Frank Pepe's, but that was the Manchester location, and it's not the same.
That don't
Okay.
count.
See, it doesn't, right? Oh my god! So I'm. You know what? To completely avoid this question in a way, I'm going burger.
New Haven. I go with Mike's Pizza in West Haven.
Dude,
I'm
Mike's.
sorry,
Oh,
I
that's
knew
a
Antron was
sleeper.
on-
Man.
Mike's is a sleeper.
I've been here a lot about parties.
Zoo parties,
Some
yeah.
parties
Yeah.
too,
Yeah,
man.
we carry their pies here too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah.
Antron always tells
Ain't
us.
far apart.
Cause we're from the A60. Antron tells us we don't know pizza.
Yeah.
He reminds us
We're
regularly.
so far away from the 203.
Listen, I can admit to that. I know.
We got my man coming up like something blew up down there.
What happened, Tim?
So he was rushing up there.
Do we have customers here? Yeah. Oh shit. All right. Well, what was that?
Putting on some Public Enemy.
Would you say about they're gone? Oh, you should be good. We'll wrap this up. We're almost done. We're at the last bit. Tacos or burritos?
Tacos.
I'm going burritos.
Tacos. It's light, nice and light. Burritos heavy.
Nah, I need something heavy.
Oh, we're gonna have to pause that real quick.
That being said, this
Pause.
is real. No,
But none of the motherfuckers know this song right here.
Johnny Cash?
Nope.
Damn it.
For gambling,
I feel
man.
like I'm about to go to a shootout. And like,
So
the end of the movie.
It's a duel.
I was like, hey.
And it's the animals.
I look at my watch. I'm like, okay, what's up?
Satisfied.
What movie was this in?
And
Pulp Fiction?
Antron's on the
Then
left
Jim
side.
Morrison made this
Antron
one
on the
over.
left side
Hey,
right
Tron,
now.
you gotta do karaoke, man.
Yeah. I can do it, you know? All right, we out.
We out.
We're not out.
Oh, we're not out.
We're not out.
Couple more questions. Let's go.
I got one more last thing to ask you guys.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
well. It was another one. It was pancakes and
shit.
waffles.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna say
do
French
pancakes.
toast.
I'm
I do
Okay.
pancakes.
I'm a French toast guy, but I'll take waffles.
I do
No, pancakes or waffles. I'm
I do-
going waffles
I do chocolate
because
chip pancakes.
no waffles trap the syrup a little bit better. So I'm going waffles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fucking scientist.
Huh?
You got that butter
No,
trapped
but all
inside
the
them
all the
waffles.
waffles have the divots, so the syrup just sits in the divots.
All right, French fries or onion rings?
French fries.
I'm gonna say fries.
French fries.
Ooh, okay.
Fries gotta be nice and crispy.
Yeah,
like,
always gotta
nice.
have crispy fries.
Yeah,
I hate those
yeah,
soggy ass fries.
soggy ass-
Who the fuck wants to eat soggy fucking
Yeah.
fries?
It needed crunch. It needed crisp.
Dude, sometimes I look at the chef. I look at. I was like, "You really serve me these linkety?" Like it's like they were barely put in the fucking thing.
Hey, you want to throw these back in the fryer for me, man?
Yeah, like
Nice
the arm,
crisp
the
fries.
arm waving
Crisp
too,
fries.
man.
Yeah.
All right. All right. We got a couple parents here or dads.
Oh, yeah.
Dad.
Yeah.
Dad. Are you dad?
Not yet.
All right.
Or maybe. Who knows?
That was like, or am I? I remember that trip to Philadelphia back in.
I forgot about
That
that
was
one.
after Eagles game. It was crazy.
Probably 1 or 2 out there.
Yeah, remember you're online here.
All good. Dad advice.
Holy crap. All right. So I'm still trying to learn patience because my mom always told me growing up that I needed to learn that more. So that patience and be as emotionally available for your children as you possibly can, man. So don't necessarily raise them the way that you grew up because they might not be built for that. And I'm learning that still to this day. I've been a parent now for a very long time, since 2012. Yeah, just patience and being more emotionally available for your children because I grew up, I didn't grow up rough, but I just grew up with that tough love, which I respected once I got older, and I'm trying to implement that in both of my children now. So I don't necessarily baby them, but I do make sure that I'm more emotionally available for them, and that I just kind of raise them in sort of a different aspect than the way that I grew up. That's all.
What you got, Jamel?
Availability, like beyond emotional, just being available. Time is of an essence nowadays, you know.
Yeah, that's a currency you
And
don't get back.
I'm
man.
a very busy guy between this craft crew, a full-time job, and coaching football at the high school level. It's like time is of an essence, you know, and there's days I can't be available for my kids, like in a physical form, where it's like, damn, you need to be available. So I feel like availability and like adjusting, because this world revolves a lot faster than it did, you know, 25 years ago, prior 2000. You know, we're making adjustments every day. So it's like he said, you know, we can't raise our kids the way we were raised because we're just in a different era of life, you know. So, you know, navigating myself to be able to adjust to allow my kids to grow and be the best versions of themselves is something it's a challenge for me, you know, and because we're accustomed to one thing or a thing or two. So I feel like those are two important things that, you know, being a parent in today's age.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What you got?
So I'm not going to keep this a long thing because both of these guys explained basically what it takes to be parents nowadays. I think I've been a parent the longest out of everybody here. And I have, you know, James has sons. Jamel has daughters. I have sons and daughters now, you know, son and a daughter. Patience is number one, like James said. Availability is another thing. You want to be there for your kids, but also learning how to just get out of the way of your kids. You know what I'm saying? Let them grow, let them do what they want to do, and just try not to be like strict on, especially for females, because you push them away. I learned that when my daughters were like 13 years old. You know, their grandmother came to me like, "Listen, you're too strict. You gotta let them ease up on them a little bit because they're hiding things from you."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And once I did that, they were able to come and talk to me about things and not hide things and, you know, stuff like that. So now I'm taking all of that and raising my son, you know, from the ways what I've learned.
Yeah.
Which is, it's pretty easy now, but you know what I'm saying? Now you're seeing a young boy he's going to be becoming a man in a few years. So you just learn, man. Every day is a new lesson, and you got to be open-minded to that. So
Thanks for that.
yeah.
I think that's all great dad advice. We all have different perspectives on how we raise our kids.
Yeah.
And it's always great talking to other parents, or let's call it other dads, and seeing how they do things. Dale, you got all that? I just want to let you know we have Cheryl's coming in right now, and it's a girl. No, I'm kidding.
I can tell you,
Dale walked away in that conversation. He's like, I don't want to be part of this.
all of us will tell you that Dale's an amazing man himself, and when he does decide to have kids, he's going to be a great father.
He will.
Oh, of
He
course,
also has
man.
good mentors and good friendship around him
he's
to
a great-
He's
support
gonna be
that.
like a well of knowledge because he
never-
knows so much shit that we have no clue about. So I always appreciate being around. I don't necessarily like being not at all really. I don't like being the smartest person in the room because
Can't be.
I always like to pick up on like different pieces of knowledge and just different aspects that I have no clue about and I don't know about. So Dale's gonna be a great father for sure, man.
Anyhow, guys, it was awesome to have you guys in here. I know we got to finish up here and get our brew wrapped up.
Yeah, look
But,
for our collaboration coming.
Yeah, it'll be out here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, man. Make sure you follow on us.
Oh yeah. Can you tell everyone real
us.
quick where to get follow you guys?
Yeah.
Instagram Craft Crew 14 on X now, but I still call that shit Twitter. On Twitter, C Crew 14, and then you can always catch us on Facebook at facebook.com / Craft Crew Connecticut or something like that.
Yeah.
Craft Crew CT
Yeah.
maybe.
Definitely.
Craft website coming soon. Working on it.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yo, and the show is gonna be back in full effect by
And the merch
like
is
the
gonna
end
be
of
flowing.
August. So
And look out for new merch, man. We had dropped a pizza tee that we had out for a while. We went to the Mass Brewers Guild Fest with it, and it was a hit. Just look for new designs and new merch from us.
Love it. Thanks, guys.
Peace.
Pleasure. We'll
appreciate it. My
Cheers.
glass is empty, but
I'll give it for that. Thank you so much.